Her corals spill, flying into the air one at a time like little birds taking flight. While I wheel Gemma around to canter ahead of the team, Rose takes aim at the rear guard. She releases just before he can pull his crank. It's a beautiful shot, flying so close to his ear I could swear it nicked him. She's always been able to tread that line between a shot to kill and a shot to startle, and unlike mine, it works. The guard curses and dives for cover behind the roof bench. Safe's alongside the team of horses now, flicking his brush whip to encourage them to veer to the right. Rat snarls at their hooves, but the driver is holding the reins steady. He switches them to his whip hand, groping with the other for the guard's fallen crossbow. He'll have a time trying to fire while keeping a firm hold on the team, but I'm not going to give him the chance. I twist in my saddle to wash the glare from my buckler over his eyes, and when he squints, I fire. Shwiz! The quarrel thumps into the wood just over his whip shoulder. He shouts and drops the reins. The stage rattles as two of its wheels catch in the rutted ditch. "Come on, Pickle," I mutter, falling back to help Safe steer the team. Pickle bursts along the far side of the stage. He hefts the dented metal staff and flings it at the front wheel. I hold my breath. He doesn't always make a clean hit. The staff is more likely to bounce off the axle or shoot under the carriage. But today, it lands true, driving right between the spokes. The wheel catches for half a heartbeat, and then, with an ugly, splintering crack, it shatters. The stage tips wildly. The team shies to the side. Rat narrowly avoids a hoof across his spine. Pickle spurs his horse clear just in time as well. The stage rattles. It lurches. It bounds uncontrollably off a rock, and with a resounding crash, it smashes onto its side. I let out my breath, easing Gemma to a halt. Dust rises in a cloud. The horse team dances in their harnesses, kicking their heels and snorting, tangling their lines. The two wheels facing the sky spin crazily. Ticka, 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 like a rattler's tail. I hook my crossbow onto my saddle and unsheathe my sword. The rear guard is motionless on the ground, but the driver and the foreguard are groaning and trying to rise. Sedge jumps from his horse and hurries to hold the guard down, putting a big knee on her back and jerking the coral out of her calf. Ignoring her swearing, he pulls out a length of bandage and sets to work binding the wound. I slide off Gemma's back, surveying the damage. Honestly, we do try not to make this big a mess. It's a measure of self-preservation. It would be easy to kill every driver and guard team that comes through, or run off with the horse teams and leave the travelers to die. But I expect the sheriff in Snaketown and the higher-ups in the more habitable parts of Alcoroand would take a stronger initiative to root me out if I left a trail of bodies in my wake. There's only one kind of traveler I make an effort to kill, and that's the slavers. This coach doesn't belong to a slaver, though, and I'm hoping the fact that we've wrecked it isn't going to come back to bite us. We've never tipped a stage. A busted wheel and a jammed axle are our usual outcomes, if luck is with us. Today, not so much. But we can't change the past, although it looks like the driver still thinks he can change the future. He sprawled halfway out of the box, trying to wiggle a carving knife from his boot. I lay the edge of my sword gently across his neck. My red bandana puffs over my lips as I speak. How about you take a little rest? He drops his knife. I kick it away and move aside as Rose reins her horse to a halt in my place. She trains her crossbow down on him. He flops his head back against the rocky sand with an angry sigh. A groan comes from inside the stage. I go to the skyward-facing passenger door and haul it open. Slouched against the far side is just about the palest person I've ever laid eyes on. I've seen the moon reach darker shades. He's old, too. His blonde hair and reddish beard are shot through with silver, and he's alone. This will be an easy job. He squints up at me, bleeding from a cut near his right ear. I angle my sword down into the coach. He doesn't move or even look at the point. "You're the Sunshield bandit," he says. I tilt my sword so the light glances off the blade. He blinks against the glare, but doesn't throw up his hands. "If you know who I am, you know what I'm after," I say. "I do, and I'm grateful for it. I believe what you do is quite commendable." I narrow my eyes over my handkerchief. I'm about